Hey everyone, my name is Connor Thompson, and I am the project team manager and for our tax group programming homework assignments. So pretty much for this assignment, we were just given the task to use the given pseudocode to create a function in Matlab so that we could compute the tax liability on any imputed income. And this was done by just creating a script that is able to determine what tax bracket the imputed income belongs to. And then by computing the taxes for the sums of each category to the total taxes owed, we could deduct the tax income for the remaining income, and then finally calculate the effective tax rate by dividing the total tax by the income. So for this script, we use if, else, and else if statements, the input function, and we created different variables to effectively come up with a solution to the problem. This code was supposed to be created so that you could input any possible income and get the effective tax rate output for that income.
Hi, my name is Kushal Patel, and I will be talking about the initial values assigned. So the script starts off with asking the user to insert their yearly income, as you can see right here. Then the script assigns the standard deduction value as 6,300 and the exemption as 4,000, which are used to get the adjusted income 1, which is the income that the user will input, minus the standard deduction, and then the adjusted income 2, which is adjusted income 1 minus the exemption. So those values, adjusted income 2 value will actually be used in the script to get the effective tax rate. Then the script starts off basically with an if statement where if the adjusted income is less than 0.01, then your tax rate is 0, because that is basically nothing. And now Jeremiah will talk about the next statement.
Jeremiah Martinez, and I will be talking about the else-if statements for adjusted incomes. If the adjusted income 2 is less than or equal to 9,225, then the total tax is 10% of the adjusted income, and the effective tax rate is the total tax divided by the income. If the adjusted income 2 is less than or equal to 37,450, the total tax is 10% of the adjusted income plus another 15% of the adjusted income minus 9,225.
So my name is Connor Radius, and let's continue where Jeremiah just left off. So to do that, we'll be looking at line 21 of this code, and this is where a series of else-if statements are used to continue the identification for the tax income rate. And so that's basically just showing how much someone is going to be taxed. Now, when we look at the first statement of this section, it's clear that there will be a simple 10% tax made on any income under $9,225. Pretty simple stuff. But when we move to the next tax bracket, this is where things get a little more complicated. So that same 10% tax will still be made, but we need an additional 15% tax on any income within $9,225 to $37,450. The effective tax rate can then be calculated by dividing the total tax by the income. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Rodrigo Gomez. I'll be going over the set of else-if statements for the adjusted income. We can go ahead and start at the line 34, where if the adjusted income 2 is less than or equal to 189,300, then 10% of the first 9,225 will be taxed, and then following 15% of 28,225, 25% of 53,300, and finally 28% of the adjusted income less than 90,750. For the second set of else-if statements, with the adjusted income being less than or equal to 411,500, we will calculate the tax the same way, but with the addition of another tax bracket, being 35% of 98,550, which then we would grab the effective tax rate by dividing the total tax by income at the end of each else-if statement.
Hello, my name is Brent, and I'll be continuing our last part. So where we left off, we had this little pattern of where we take 1 times 10% plus 2 minus 1 times 15%, and so on and so forth for each tax bracket. But for these next two brackets, we just add on our next two sections. And this first section right here is your section of 411,500 minus your, or subtracting from your adjusted income times 35%. And that'll be that bracket. So for this bracket, first one right here has to be between that number, and then it has to be less than or equal to 413,200. Then for our final section, same concept, this little pattern once again, but finally we add our last and final tax bracket of anything greater than our previous number of 413,200, and it just has to be greater, or our adjusted income is greater than that number for this final tax bracket. Then for both of these, to get our effective tax rate, we take our total tax divided by our income. And thank you. That is the last section.